Madonna or Usher or Seal. He only needs one name, and that's Borino. He's going to share his expertise with us today on listing expireds in a hot seller's market. And I'm imagining wherever you guys are, that is what's going on. So I think this is going to be an incredible day of some good, fast-paced learning for you. On a quick side note, just want to remind you that you'll be receiving something later this week about our second session, which will be hosted by Joshua Smith. That webinar is next Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. He runs a top team out of Phoenix, Arizona. He was ranked 30th in America by Wall Street Journal. That's going to be next Wednesday at 12, so you'll be getting some information on that as well. So what you need, that's at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what you need to know for today is the audience is muted, but you can submit questions via the chat function there. This training session will be recorded and available in your Espresso agent back office as well. So I am Monica Weekly. I'm located in Cincinnati. I'm going to be kind of your MC today. I've been licensed for 14 years. I started with Keller Williams as the assistant team leader and then was the team leader in our market center for a while. And now I'm acting as the lead listing agent for a top producing team here in Cincinnati. So this topic is near and dear to my heart for sure. So let me introduce the man of the hour, though, Borino. As I mentioned, single name, Borino. He's a real estate coach, he's a speaker, he's an author, he's a trainer. He is really known for his kind of advanced systems, tools, and techniques for today's realtors in today's type of market. What I like best is his style is kind of fast-paced, no nonsense, and really practical. So when I chatted with him before today's session, I asked him a little bit about his typical day, what does a typical day look like for him, and he said he starts every day very, very early. I didn't even ask to define that. I can only imagine. And every day, right in the middle of the day, he takes a break for yoga, kind of recenters himself, and I think that's a great practice as well. He and his wife have 2 kids. They keep him very busy when he's not working, and he also enjoys riding his motorcycle in his free time. He is known around our circles as the expired guru, but we can just call him Borino. So Borino, are you there? There he is.
Morning to you, everybody. Welcome to the session. Your coach Borino with you. Monica, thank you so much for inviting me to do this session with you guys today. I'm really excited. Thanks for Espresso Agent for setting this up, and for Melissa and everybody else who behind the scenes made this possible. Good to have you guys. Welcome. We're going to have a good time today. I'm excited to share some cool stuff with you. Let's just get started, I'd say. Let's teach you some good stuff so you can get out there, get some leads and some listings. What do you say, Monica? Yeah? Everybody good? I think she already muted me, so it's my turn to run the show. Welcome, you guys. Some of you are here for the first time. Some of you are my friends and my students. Good to see some familiar faces here on the list. We're going to spend the next hour, hour and a half chatting about expireds. You can ask questions. Let's make this as interactive as possible. I'm going to turn off the camera periodically so you don't get distracted by our handsomeness, and you can focus on the slides. So with that, let's get started. This presentation will be rated R, as most of my presentations are, but you guys already know that. You're going to hear some adult language. That's just how I speak. I don't really have a shtick. I don't have a persona or anything. You're going to get the real Borino. And I'm in a good company, right? Prince and Madonna. That's pretty good. That's going to be some rich content. But I do need something from you guys. And that is, in order for you to walk away with good information and be inspired, there are 2 things that you need to do. One, of course, is put away the distractions. And I know it's so easy to play Pokemon right now. You bastards, that thing is just taking off the world. Isn't that crazy? And it's so easy to check the email and get on Facebook. So really do yourself a service by just paying attention and immersing yourself in the information we're going to chat about. So that's number 1. And number 2, your drunken monkey that Mike Ferry so properly named many, many years ago will try to chime in and say, oh, I've heard that before. Oh, I've tried that before. Pay attention to it and just shut it up for the next 90 minutes or so. Put it on hold for a while. Give yourself the opportunity to start fresh with an open mind and open possibilities of what's possible, what you can do. Cool? Yes? Everybody good with that? If you are good with that, then let's get jamming. First, my attorney always makes me say this: I'm not implying you will achieve any results or do anything. I guess that's just a human nature. Does this look familiar? We all have good intention, then it's just somehow kind of falls apart, right? We're going to be going over some numbers and examples, but remember, these are strictly hypothetical. Your numbers will be very different. You are in a different market, have different personality skills. There are other factors that can influence it. The systems I teach are effective but not easy. This is not a magic pill. This is not a silver bullet. If you're hoping for one, then I'm going to save you about an hour, hour and a half of your time. Don't waste your time here, okay? Because what I teach is not a home run at first. It's not like, oh, you're going to send this magic letter or send this magic postcard or say this magic script, and all of a sudden sellers will be lining up at the front door. It doesn't work that way. The real world requires more than just one little thing. But I'll give you plenty of that today. And if you put it together, if you're willing to work, I will stay with you and work with you until it does work for you. Always check with your broker and legal advisor. I'm not a legal expert. I'm not an attorney. A guy with funny accent like mine, you should think twice before acting. So use common sense. It will serve you well. Why are we here today? I want you to walk with enough firepower, with enough information to get more appointments, to have more good listings, and collect more commissions. That's really the bottom line. You're running a profitable business. And if it is not profitable, if you're not making enough money, if you don't have the lifestyle you've always wanted to have, it's time to fix that. And that's what we want to do. So here are my goals. I have 3 goals for today. I want to show you how to get expired listings in a hot seller's market right now. And I know in the most part of the country, US and Canada, things are pretty hot right now. Sellers are crazy, listings are crazy, right? Everything is moving. So I'm going to give you 3 easy contact strategies that work right now with my students. I'm going to show you a soft touch approach with no resistance. I have a confession to make. I'm a horrible salesman. Before getting into real estate, I had 3 sales jobs. One of them was a telemarketing job. And I failed, and I was fired from every single one of them. But it's more than just I have no selling skills, as you're going to see. I don't like being a salesman. I don't like manipulating people and forcing some crap down their throat and doing the shtick that probably didn't work in 1989 when I started in real estate. It doesn't work today. So I'm going to show you psychology. What I teach is based on psychology approach. Human psychology. What makes people tick? Why do they list with you when they do, and why they don't when they don't? So we're going to go over that. I will show you where the 80% of the listings are right now and how to get them. Now, you may be thinking, what if I don't have a whole lot of experience? A lot of this stuff I developed and put together for myself with 0 experience. Your years in the business doesn't matter a whole lot. I'm sure you know plenty of agents who've been at it for 20 years and they still struggle. What about a big budget? Same thing. I was broke. Just a moment, more than just a broke. So even if you're on a small budget, this stuff can still work for you. How about if you don't have a long track record and testimonials? If you do, it helps. But if you don't, this is still applicable. Okay? So you don't need a tons of experience. Even if you're in competitive market. And I know in most markets right now, you have other agents going after expireds. And that's okay. That's cool. Are we going to keep it cheap? Or are we going to keep it simple? That's what I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. All right. So who is this for? This will be helpful for you if you're like me and you don't like the traditional, and be honest, uncomfortable selling techniques, can script, and aggressive closing. So none of that will happen. It may work for some, and I know some superstars who can pull that off, and more power to them. But I personally never liked that stuff because I immediately tags me as just another desperate agent, didn't want to be that. So this will be 100% how-to practical stuff. Now, I will help you. If you want my help, obviously, I make an offer at the end. We're going to talk about the Expired Plus. If you want to get it, it's a complete system how to do expireds. But before we get there, there's plenty of practical stuff. At the end, I will talk about systems because it was the systems that make a difference. See, this is the part in the webinar when most speakers will tell you how they were the prodigy, agent of the year, big success, young out of the gate, realtor in top 30, under 30. Remember? That's not my story. This picture has a lot of meaning to me because this was a 1982 Cadillac DeVille. I affectionately call it the rust bucket. And I don't have a huge success story. On the contrary, I have a failure story. A little less than 2 years in real estate, this was not only my car, but my home. I was homeless. I lived in this thing. Not much fun. And I struggled, and it was hard. And I questioned it. Just maybe some of you are sitting there and wondering, is really real estate for me? Is this really a good business? Can I really make a good living? Is it possible? The reason I want to show you this picture is because I believe that real estate is one of the very few opportunities where you can bounce back very, very quickly. And even though I was living in this damn thing, deep inside I still believed that it's all temporary, it's short term, I can pull it off. And I did. What was the difference? It's just like today. If you look around, there is a small group of agents who are crushing it. Lots of listings, nice homes, dress well, drive nice cars. And then there's a big chunk of agents broke. And other than the mindset, what is the real difference? It's how they run their business. The difference is they have incorporated a system. And that's what helped me. I put together a simple system. I'm a simple guy. I don't have any special skills. I'm not super bright. I'm not one of those prodigies. So I wanted a system that would be fairly easy to follow, fairly inexpensive. And then later became the Expired Plus, which you can buy today. It's about $400. Now, using this system, I built a good life for myself. I was able to bounce back. It took me less than a year. In 10 months, I was on my feet. Now, I'm not showing all these pictures to impress you how beautiful my life, other than, of course, my windsurfing skills and my motorcycle skills and my skiing skills. But to show you that it's possible, that no matter where you are today, your past does not equal your future. That's one of the most important lessons I learned from one of my mentors, Tony Robbins. Now, here's the reality. In most markets right now, it's hot. That means you have a low listing inventory, multiple offers most of the time, right? Homes selling super fast. In our market, it's not uncommon to have offers on a property 6 hours on the market. Buyers are a dime a dozen. When you have cash offers, it's pretty crazy out there. So that means you're dealing with sellers who have very unrealistic expectations at times, especially about price. They own a 3-bedroom house. We own a castle. It's very special to us, and it's worth $2 million. Sounds familiar? You have more competition from other agents. Pie got smaller, right? More hands in a cookie jar, and there are fewer expireds, if any. There might be days where you don't even have any new expireds. So here's the question. Can you still do expireds on a systematic basis? Can you still get leads and listings and succeed? And the answer is yes, of course. Here's the good news. Most agents that you go up against still don't have a system and don't know how to list expired systematically. It's usually a desperation attempt. When things get really bad for them, they jump on expireds. And if there is an agent who uses a system, most likely mine, it's possible, they list expireds on a very regular basis. So now, in order for all of this to work for you, there are 3 things you have to have in place. Number 1, you must be willing to break through your comfort zone. That's the foundation. There will be times when things will get a little uncomfortable. Trying a new approach, using a different dialogue, talking to expireds, using a new system, getting rejected. You must move forward even if it's not pleasant or easy. And there will be times where it will not be pleasant, it will not be ready for it. Second, you must be absolutely clear what you're after. You know, I do private coaching, I do seminars, and people come to me and I hear them say, I want to make more money. I want to pay my bills. Not good enough. You must know exactly what your destination is, precisely what you're after. And then third, you must commit. You will never let your self-doubt stop you from having what you want. I mean, we've all been there. I've been there, everybody. Every single one of us here today, at one point or another, you question yourself, right? Will this work? Am I cut out for this? Can I do this? Is it worth it? That's normal. Your spouse may be questioning. You've been in real estate if you're not making $250,000, $500,000. So what you have to do is step up and kick that self-doubt in the butt. Don't let the fear and doubt beat you, because it will hold you in place. You'll be stuck in stress and struggle and mediocrity. And that, my friend, it's not a way to enjoy life. Me, homeless in a car, having doubts, yes, but knowing it's going to work, you need to be in the same place. Because right now, you don't have the luxury to screw up. Think about it. Each listing you don't get, each lead you don't follow up with, each expired you don't contact, each listing presentation that doesn't go where you don't get the listing, how much is that loss worth to you? So what you must deliver is an A game. Most agents don't. You want some proof? Here it is. Look at this. Latest data from Salary.com. Average real estate agent in the United States right now earns $37,948. So it's not working for most agents, clearly. Most agents make less than $60,000. You know what that means? My mailman delivering mail day in, day out. makes more money. No stress, walking outside, pleasant, just delivering letters. And it's not just the wasted money, it's the wasted opportunity. I have students now, of course, these are unusual results, that do that in a week. This is one of my men, Jazz. Jazz is a great agent, good guy, came to one of my workshops. Look at that, 19 commissions in 1 month. Now I'm showing you this, again, not to promise you're going to do the same. You will not. But I'm showing you this, what's possible. What that means is there's clearly plenty of business out there. So here's Borino rule number 1. If you want to earn more than an average agent, you have to do more than an average agent. Be ready to step up. Go the extra mile, put the extra effort, put up with more discomfort. Now, in order for you to move up, you need to know where you are. So let's do a little quiz real quick, you and I. And this is one of those things where maybe you're in the middle of that Facebook. Turn that fucking thing off, please. Come stay with me. I promise you're going to walk away with some good stuff, but stay with me. So let's do the quiz. Really, play along. Take this quiz with me. Let's figure out where you are. This will be important because it will help you troubleshoot and adjust and focus on one of 4 areas in order for all of this to work. Just take a test. Right now, on the scale from 1 to 5, rate yourself. Grab a piece of paper, write this down. Where are you in your mind game? That means where is your focus? Where is your discipline? Where are your expectations? What kind of beliefs do you have? And be honest. You can bullshit me. Don't need to bullshit yourself. Just be honest. Write down a number in your mind game from 1 to 5. Do it right now. Do it real quick. Remember what T. Harv Eker says, how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you play along right now, you're going to get a different outcome if you just passively listen and be entertained. And we're going to have a good time. I like doing that. I love doing these things for you guys. But the value is you and I working on this together. So write it down real quick. First number, 1 to 5. Be honest. Next, where do you think is your marketing? That's your marketing materials that you use when you're working with expireds. Starting with your business card. Maybe you have a brochure. Maybe your website. Any piece, any element that the potential lead will see. Where are you? Where would you rate it overall? Polished, awesome, 5, or really shitty, beginner, homemade, 1, or somewhere in between. Put a number down real quick. Number 3, what do you believe is your first impression when you get on the phone and talk to an expired listing, or when you knock on the door, or when you send them a text? You start interacting with them when they first meet you face to face. Do you feel like you're, number 1, that means low status, needy, nervous, and that's okay. At the beginning, I was so scared. One of my first expired listings, I pull up in the rust bucket. I pull up in front of the expired listing, and in 28 minutes, I was not able to get out of the car. No joke. That's how nervous and scared I was. So if you feel nervous, if you're insecure, it's okay. That's a natural human reaction to talking to strangers. So where you are, write down the number. 4th, how's your follow-up? Do you have a follow-up library in place? Do you have a system in place? Do you have a CRM in place? Where are you? Is it fine-tuned machine that's cranking? Or are you barely getting started or somewhere in between? Write down the numbers. Okay, so now we have your mind game, your marketing, your impression, and your follow-up. Add them all up. What's your total? Type in some answers. Where are you? What is your score? This will give you your probability rating of locking in expires, because these are the 4 elements that make it successful. Okay, here we go. We got some numbers. Alex is at 9. Barbara, 14. Very good. John is at 16. Jim is at 10.5. Monica is at 11. Where are you? Tyrone is at 1221. We got some work to do, my man. Rocky is at 10. Rich is at 8.5. Jay is at 12. Roxy is at 9. Good. Sharon, 13.5. Okay, Brian is at 10. All right. So now you have some baseline to go by to see where you are. Here is Dave is at 9. All right, Dave. Dave, you're my student, brother. What are you doing to me? Jesus, you should be better than that. Here's your target. Your score needs to be 16 and up. 16 or better for this to really work for you on a consistent basis. Can you get expireds without all this? It's possible. It's just going to be a lot harder. You're going to be crushed by your competition. It's going to be an uphill battle. Start working on these 4 things, because now you know which areas do I need to focus on. Focus on the lowest score first. If it's the first impression, start working on it. Practice dialogues. Look for tools and resources to feel better. Get more confidence going. Follow-up, whatever element it is, you now know where you are. There is no other magic answer. If you have these 4 things in place, you're halfway there. Then you're ready for expires. Now, I really like expires. Expires was my salvation. unlike any other lead, other than FISBOs really. But the cool thing about expires, the hardest part in real estate is always identify your leads. One of the things I used to do for almost 2 years is door knock. And you have to go through a lot of doors, talk to a lot of people to get one lead. The cool thing about expires, you already know who wants to sell. The hardest part, the identification part, has already been taken care of for you. Regardless of the market, the economy, or other external conditions, there are people out there who need your help right now. City in your area, guaranteed. And these people are willing, able, and ready to pay you for your service. This will make expireds great and relatively easy listings compared to other methods, and not to mention inexpensive. Because you're dealing with people who want to sell. They're easy to find. I mean, you can fire up Espresso right now, and you can have leads within minutes. Somebody who's seriously considering relisting the property now or in the near future. Compared to other methods, they're pretty inexpensive to market to. It's not free. You still need a little bit of money. But if you compare it to complicated, complex systems like marketing on Facebook, which we do, I have nothing against Facebook, it's effective. But you can burn through a couple $100 a day like that. The cool thing about expires is there is not a huge incubation windows. Many of these, if you encounter a motivated seller, they're sometimes released immediately or sometimes within a short period of time. Frequently, more realistic. This is why I really like them. Because if you're dealing with a first-time seller or a seller who hasn't been on the market for a long time, you know the pricing will be an uphill battle, right? But if the market spanks them a little for 3, 4, 5, 6 months or multiple times with multiple agents, the reality kicks in. They can be better than referrals. Now, well, Borino. Market is crazy right now. There are days where we don't even have one expired listing. Well, here's the magic. There's another hidden source, about 80% under the surface, and those are old expired listings. Jolita, I see your question. You guys keep coming with the questions. Please do come ask as many questions as you can. Let me just go through this. I had no idea how much stuff I had ready for you today. First, when we started setting up this call, they say, oh, you're going to have about half an hour. I'm like, oh, shit, I don't know how I squeeze it in half an hour. So let me give you the content, and I promise I will stay at the end, answer every single question. I want to make sure you walk away with all the answers. Cool? So please do keep asking them. All right, so you have this great potential resource. Now, the cool thing about old expireds, not many agents work them, even fewer have actual system to work them. What you're going to learn today works for both new and old expireds. You can go back as far as you can. You can contact them. It works. Here's why. Just because the property didn't sell the first time, that doesn't mean, in many cases, that their plans have changed, that their hopes and dreams and desires have changed. They simply get confused. They got frustrated with their current agent. The property was most likely overpriced, and I didn't know what the hell to do. So they're just sitting there. So if you approach them the right way, at the right time, with the right system, you have a very good chance locking in a good lead, either get a listing immediately or follow up with them, build trust and rapport with them, and convert them later. But the process never changes. Let me give you the easiest way to get this done. It's a low resistance process. So first, this is based on active marketing. Active means you go out and initiate. You don't passively wait for somebody to come to you. You make the first step. You reach out first. This will not give you more control over your business, but it will help you scale it because you can build a business model around it, because you control how many you contact and what you do. So the secret, in order for this to work, we're going to talk about how to contact them, what the channels of communication are. For now, remember, for this to work the best is to deploy multi-channel marketing. I'll show you what it is in just a moment. So you make the first contact. If at all possible, you're going to go for a short visit. And again, I will play you an actual call to an actual expired listing from an actual agent, one of my students, Jason. How to do that, not that hard. After that, some of these you will drop. Either the house is a dog or the seller's an asshole, you don't want to work with them, or you simply know you can't help them, it's not a type of listing you want. Some you will put on a follow-up. You start building trust, you start building connection, they start recognizing your name, they start feeling comfortable with you, they start warming up towards you. Either after the visit you set up a listing appointment or you take the follow-up route, where either they call you or you keep following up with them one day they're ready. That is the easiest, fastest way to lock them in. Now, we talked about the multi-channel contacts. To get old and new expired listings, there is no brand new approach. You don't need a new approach. You need an effective approach. There are 5 ways to do that. Number 1, you mail them something. You call them. You text them. You visit them in person, or you email them. Those are the methods. And with a tool like Espresso, it's cool because many times you get their email, you get their mailing address, and you get their phone number. So you can research it. Now, where this becomes really powerful is if you start combining them. So imagine you call them, then you mail them something, then you visit them, then you send them a text, then you email them. The follow-up sequence starts. Suddenly they keep seeing your name over and over and over. Now, of course, we have about 6 hours of quick start videos to teach you how to do all this. That's what the Expired Plus is, so I won't be able to go to all. But I will show you the 2 most important ones. And that's the phone call and the visit. And the reason I picked these 2, and the reason we're going to go in detail over these 2 is because these are the critical ones. Unlike texting, email, sending mail, when you have a chance to talk to another human being, it is by far the easiest, fastest way to build rapport and connection. And you already know that people list with you because they like you, trust you, and respect you. So in order for you to build that trust and respect and connection, you need to have a conversation with them. Just like right now. I know it's kind of a one-way conversation. All you can do is type, but it's still more of a dialogue than just me playing you a video that I recorded. Magic happens in conversations. So, I'm not a big fan of scripts. I don't like being labeled a telemarketer. People very quickly decide whether you're just a salesman trying to shyster into something, or you have their best interest in how you want to connect with them. In order for you to do that, instead of having a scripted conversation with them, you have a dialogue. The difference is just follow a simple outline. This is a simple, no-resistance dialogue outline. When you call them, there's a lot of NLP stuff in there, neuro-linguistic programming. There's some hypnotic patterns. But most importantly, it's just one human being talking to another human being. So let me give you an example. I'm going to play an actual phone call. Now, I apologize for the quality because this is an actual phone recording. So it's not the best quality, but it will give you a very good idea that, number 1, it's not that hard, and number 2, you can do that. Okay? So give it a listen. This is my man Jason Fazio with Coldwell Banker. Great agent. Listen.
Hello?
Hi, is this Deborah?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Deborah. This is Jason with Coldwell Banker Real Estate. I'm probably not the first one calling you about the house, am I?
No.
I figured it's kind of crazy, right? All the calls coming in all of a sudden.
Yes.
Yeah, I apologize for that. Quick question, Deborah, have you relisted the house?
We will be.
You will be. You're maybe taking a break for a while and waiting?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't blame you. Let me ask you, do you know why the house didn't sell? I'm looking at it right now online. It seems lovely. I'm really not sure why it didn't sell.
We had a terrible agent.
Oh, no.
Yes.
What, did you get buyers through there?
We got a few, but we had him for 4 months, and after the day we signed the contract, we never heard word one from him again.
Oh, no. Okay. So I'm assuming you didn't even get the feedback probably from the buyers then on what they thought about the house, or did you?
We got a few, but I mean he wouldn't even follow up with that.
Oh no. What were the buyers saying about the house? Did they like it?
Well, they liked it. You know, the ones who didn't said it was probably a little overpriced, or they didn't like the location.
Oh.
You can't change.
No, you definitely can't change the location. Let me ask you though, if it had sold, where were you thinking about moving? Are you going to stay here local, or are you traveling out of the area?
Well, both. We'll be moving into an apartment, and then we've already got our retirement home.
Oh, good for you. Is that here in Fort Wayne?
Oh, heck no. Georgia.
Oh, you're wanting to be in the warmer weather, huh?
Oh, yes.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Let me ask you, Deborah, if we could find that buyer, someone willing to pay you something fair to get you down to Georgia, would you still be interested in selling?
We will be selling.
Right.
It's just we're just going to wait for a little bit.
Sure. Well, tell you what, Deborah, let's do this. Let me stop by for a few minutes. No pressure. I'm not even going to try to list the house. I just want to meet you in person. That way you can put a face with a name. I'll drop off some information about myself. That way, maybe down the road, when you do decide to put the house on the market and interview some agents, we could talk more about it then. Would that be fair enough?
Can you wait about a month or so before you come by?
I could. I'm just there to drop off the information. I'm not going to ask to see the house or anything. I've seen the photos, so it's nothing like that. I just want to give you my information. That way
Okay,
you have it.
that would be fine.
That would be okay?
Yes.
Okay, well, I can stop by around 3 o'clock today. Would that be okay?
That would be fine.
Okay, I'll only be there 5 minutes, like I said. I just want to meet you and give you my information. That's all.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deborah. I'll see you at 3.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's the whole thing. Baby steps. Notice how little resistance. He encountered that little objection. I love how Jason didn't get fazed by it, didn't stumble over it. He just kept going. But overall, wasn't that a pleasant, easy conversation? Now, here's the question for you guys. Can you do this? Yeah, I think with a little practice, right? Yeah, of course. He followed an outline. He had a conversation. The seller was receptive. Boom. It is the easiest, fastest way to do that because now Jason and everybody else following the system has an opportunity. Preview the house, chat with the seller, meet them, qualify them, and decide. Follow-up listing appointment or drop. So many agents crash and burn with expireds because they push too hard right over the phone for a listing appointment. Now, occasionally that works. I'm not against it. But I just believe that for the most part, there's just too much resistance, too much fear, too little connection between you and the seller. You're just a perfect stranger to them, stranger danger. You can be a mass murderer for all they know. And so most of the time, you will not get a listing appointment on the first try. If you do, great. But even if you don't, this little quick stop by, let me say hello, drop off some information for you, is all you need. I promised you a very powerful technique. Jason deployed it very well in that call. Use it. And it's this. Right there on your screen. Smile. Smile. As he opens the dialogue, he has a pleasant smile. Now, you can't see him, but you can hear it. You can feel it in his voice, in his dialogue, in the conversation. He's having a good time. He's not attached to the outcome. He's smiling. Use that. It's a DNA-programmed response. If you smile, they're going to smile back. If you show them I'm having a good time, I'm glad I had a chance to meet with you and chat with you, they're going to do the same back. Very simple but very powerful technique that will make your communication, your interaction, and your presentation way more powerful. Now, how do you get good? Practice, of course. That's the secret I did when I decided I got to make this work. I got to get a bunch of listings and live a good life. I started practicing. Now, of course, practicing only makes it permanent. Make sure you practice the right stuff. That's what will make you perfect. So here's the outline how you get good communicating in person, on the phone, in any situation. First, just start practicing. I practiced 30 minutes every day. It was in my calendar. It was part of my daily routine, just like taking a shower. We had a cup of coffee with my buddy Tony at Remax, and like ping pong, we would just go back and forth. Second is record it. Get one of those digital recorders and record yourself. Do you sound confident? Are you smiling? Is it a pleasant conversation, or are you just mechanically reciting a script? So listen to it, review it, and then correct it. Then go out there and just use it. Go talk to some expireds. What's the worst that can happen? You can't be any worse off than you are now. Don't worry about it. Just practice getting good at it. Can you make somebody smile? Can you hold the conversation for a little while? Can you break through the ice first? Then practice some more. Adjust, correct what needs to be corrected, go back to the practice. If you really want to get good at it, come in October. I'm doing a 2-day seminar on confident communication. This is some of the things we're going to be doing there. This whole system is based on the basic fundamental success in real estate and in business, really. And that's trust. The sellers like you, they respect you, they trust you, they do business with you. Without it, it's not going to happen. So for every listing you ever got, it's because they liked you, they trusted you. For every listing they lost, there was somebody else they liked and trusted and respected more than you. Going face-to-face with the seller, being able to meet them if at all possible, and I know sometimes it's not. Do the best you can with what you have. That's one of my most important rules I can give you, is do the best you can with what you have. But if you can meet them in person, do so. Meet them. Face-to-face personal meeting is the fastest method to build trust and connection. Strategy number 2, contact strategy, text them. People are very responsive to text, very often more to text than to voice. So if you call them, can't reach them, go to plan B, send them a simple text. Sorry about your house, Matthew. Would you still like to sell? Could you get a good price for it? Let's chat. Borino, ABC Realty, 800-573-8492. Short and simple. Engagement, conversation. Keep it simple. Third strategy is you visit them. Best time to visit, the day it expires, as soon as possible. You will be a super small minority, sometimes the only one that would take the time and have the nerves and the balls to go and visit the seller in person. Use it to your advantage. I was very often the only agent that the seller talked to face-to-face, except there were times where this dude, Lorenzo, showed up in his Lamborghini. Different story. If you don't reach them, try 2 days later. Go back. One visit is often not enough. Be persistent. Persistence beats talent, beats skill, beats good looks, thin body, good clothes, any of that. Be persistent. Good time to go is on Saturday morning. People are home, they're relaxed, sipping coffee, chilling out. You have a good chance of reaching them. Saturday afternoon and Sunday. Those are the best times to knock on the door, have a little conversation, ask some questions, find out if you can help them. Is their standard. They don't give up until visit number 3. Now do the math with me. And again, your numbers will be very different. But just humor me and go through this exercise with me. 2 connections a day. Can you have 2 conversations every day? Preferably in person. Is that possible? I mean, if you really apply yourself, if you really commit, is it possible to talk to 2, either new expireds, old expireds, whatever? So that would mean 10 a week. If you work 5 days a week, you commit to 2 a day. You have 10 connections, 10 conversations weekly. That'd be 40 a month. In the next 6 months, by the end of the year, you would have had 240 of them. Now, I don't know you personally, some of you I've met. I don't know exactly where you are, what your skill level is, what your marketing, where did you score on that quiz we just did? But here's a question. If you had 240 potential leads with whom you had this kind of interaction, how many of those could you put on a follow-up? I've been doing coaching and real estate for, Jesus, way too long, many years. So my experience has been what? Is it possible to have half? Yeah? So that's 120 leads. You turn half of those relist, sold, never want to sell, difficult to deal with. So end up with half, 120 leads in the next 12 months, in the next 6 months. Out of those 120 leads, could you convert, I don't know, 10%, 20%? Is that realistic? I mean, let's be conservative. I try to be real. Could you convert 20% of those? That's 24 listings, right? Maybe 12 listings, whatever. Better than you have now, correct? But it starts with 2 connected communications, conversations every day. Now that's the key word, every day. Remember this, in a hot market like this, business card is not enough. 1 template letter, probably free one you picked up on the internet, not enough. Sending just 1 postcard is not enough. 1 mailing is not enough. You got to do more. You got to crank up the intensity that will help you stand out. So here is what I recommend. Either mail, preferably deliver, and preferably hand it to the seller. This is the expired package. This is the Borino expired package. This is straight from the Expired Plus. This is what goes in it. Again, I like simple and I like cheap. So let me walk you through it. First, they get a little brochure. It's an expired brochure written specifically for expired, speaking their language. You attach a business card to it. They get a cover letter with a nice little eye catcher. You notice what's there? Their property with a big sold across it. That forces them to get hooked. Curiosity kicks in. They read the letter. Then they're going to get a market update, not a CMA, just a quick update. The only reason I'm including it there is because many times these sellers are frustrated, confused, disappointed. They feel like, fuck it, we can't do this. Attaching a simple market update simply rekindles that hope. It shows them other people are selling, people are moving, homes are being sold every day. Why not you? And then you include some of your marketing materials. If you have a nice just listed postcards, just sold postcards, maybe you have a nice open house invitations, whatever else, something nice and tangible that shows that you're an active, proactive, good agent. Yes? So that's all you need to get started. You put this package together. You mail it only if you're dealing with vacant properties, the sellers are out of the area, or you simply cannot access the property. But your number 1 objective would be to either hand it to the sellers, or worst scenario, you leave it there. It will not replace the conversation, but it's better than just leaving a postcard or leaving a card or a business card or a note. It's higher status marketing piece. Something that, and you can put it together yourself or get the Expired Plus and we'll set it up with you. We'll help you customize it. Now, why don't you get expireds? There are only 3 reasons. If you've been working expireds in the past, let me show you why. First, and usually the most important one, you made a bad first impression. And when I say bad, it means one of 2 things. Either you came in too low, low status, too needy, too nice, too desperate to get the listing. And it may not be any of those things, but you come across as such. People perceive you as such. So that's the first option. Second option, you did a poor presentation. They didn't see you as their choice, their solution, somebody who's competent and confident where they know can get the job done. Now, again, you may be all those things. You may know the market well. You may know how to get the listing sold. It's the way you come across. And the third reason is your follow-up was inconsistent. I lost listings left and right until I figured out somebody else had a better follow-up. Not in terms of quality of the marketing. Most of it ended up in trash anyway. But it was just consistent. It was persistent. And it was all channel marketing. Those channels we talked about, they would call, they would visit, they would mail, they would email, they would incorporate every single channel possible. There's another reason why it's so important. In the past, it was not uncommon for sellers to interview a bunch of agents, take their time, select the right one for the job. Those times no longer are. We're living in a different era. And again, let me show you some data. This is from the National Association of Realtors. They do a study every year. They release the profile of home buyers and sellers. They study the market, thousands of transactions. They talk to a bunch of customers. Here's what they found. Exhibit 7.3 from the latest report. Number of agents contacted before selecting one to assist with the sale of your home. This will shock you. Look at this number. What that means is the sellers contacted one agent, and that's the agent they picked. Majority of the sellers talk to 2, max. 15% talk to 2, 72 talk to 1. That means other agents are either trying to get the listing and it's not working, obviously, or they're not even in the game in the first place. Because 87% of the sellers, that means almost 9 out of 10, contact 2 agents, pick one, done. We're too busy. We have other things to do. We have Pokemon Go to play. Who has the time or the desire to talk to all these salespeople, especially if most of them all say the same things, sound the same, promise the same things? It comes down to 1 or 2. Using this approach, following this system, having a nice expired package, doing it on a high status level, not like a salesperson to be too aggressive or too nice, too needy, is the way to go. Now here's the secret. Majority of your listings will not happen on the initial contact. Few will. In my experience, it was about 80%. That matches many of my students. Again, your numbers will be different, but not by much. What you will note is that the majority of your listings will require some form of follow-up. That's where the business is. Make a first strong impression. That's the foundation. If you're too aggressive or too nice, you're screwed. It's over. But you will need follow-up to keep in touch because your commissions are in the follow-up. Now, there are several tools. Some people, you will connect over the phone. They prefer the phone, whether texting or calling. Some direct mail. They require you mailing them. Get your name in front of them. Some, you need to visit, and sometimes you need to go back. If that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. Sometimes it's email, sometimes it's social media. Most of the time, it's a combination of these things. So having the right resource, using tools like Espresso, where you have their phone number, their name, their email, their cell number, is critical. And if you don't have it through the conversations, you can extract that information. During the follow-up process, and this is really why you're doing it, your prospect builds a relationship with you where they know you, they like you, they start trusting you. And the cool thing is they don't even have to think about it. This is not a conscious process, and it doesn't need to be. And it often happens organically and very quickly. It doesn't need to be a long, drawn process. Somebody tells me, well, I have a lead that'll be ready in 2 years. Bullshit. That's not a lead. That's a suspect. Don't waste your time. The cool thing about expireds, if you do this right, many will start converting very rapidly. But you do need a good follow-up. Now, what makes a good follow-up? High frequency. In this busy world where we're exposed to 30 to 50,000 marketing messages a day, you have to keep your name in front of them using all the channels we talked about. Every 10 to 14 days, they must be touched one way or another. The information that they receive from you, whether it's email or a piece of mail, or even a phone call, must be relevant to them. That means the content must interest them. It must be about them. The days where you send them pieces about your company and years in the business and experience, nobody gives a shit. It's not interesting anymore. That's why I was glad when Monica at the beginning did the intro on me. It was short. You don't really give a shit. You come here because you want some practical tools. That's why we're here. Whether I have children or like to ride a motorcycle is not that relevant, I think, right? Same with your follow-up. It must be exciting with a compelling call to action. In other words, I receive the information, gets my attention, I consume the content that's targeted for me as a seller. You always have to end it with an answer. What do I do next? What's my next step? And then the most important part of your good follow-up is consistency. Consistency is more important than content. In other words, the fact that you persistently follow up will give you greater result than the quality of your follow-up. Your postcards don't need to be 100-pound stock, high gloss, full color, extra large. If you can afford it and you have the resources, that's fine. That's a bonus, but it's not essential. The fact that they got postcard from you, they got an email from you, they got a phone call from you, they got the chance to chat with you, ask you questions, is what matters. There's an impact scale. Personal conversations rule. With all the tools and all the resources, and it's all phenomenal, don't get me wrong. I love the gadgets. I'm Mr. Gadget. You should see my studio here at home where I broadcast to you guys. I love it. It's like NASA. I actually took a picture. I'm going to post it on our Rockstar group. If you're not a member, by the way, come join us. Real Estate Rockstars on Facebook. But even with all these gadgets and tools and resources, real estate has always been and always will be a people business. That will never change. One human being helping another human being. Having a personal conversation, if possible face-to-face, or at least on the phone, is by far the most impactful one. Then it's text and video. Text right now is good. Text your clients. Keep in touch. Send them personal videos. Use tools. You can just use your little smartphone, record a little video. Hey, Mary, just wanted to follow up with you. There's a new listing around the corner on Oak Street. It's listed for $7.99. I have more information for you. Call me. You record that little video, post it on YouTube if you want, or send it to them as an SMS. Either way works. Social media, great way to get to know your client better. Send them a friend request. Interact with them. Include them in your sphere as they were real, because they are. Because the line between your business and your personal life, the line between Joe the realtor and Joe the person, the father, the friend, have been blurred completely. I post my personal stuff all day long on my Rockstar group on Facebook. We have close to 3,000 members. I post my business stuff on my personal page. Now, of course, watch the guidelines, obviously. But you understand what I'm saying. The lines have blurred. Use them. Then it's letters, personal notes, keyword personal. The less mass, the better. Then postcards, and then finally email. Email is good, and it has its place. Just remember, we all get, what, 150, 160 emails on average per day? It's a one-way communication. It's very disposable. And the first thing you do, I do in the morning, right? Clean my inbox. Delete, 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 delete. Oh, read. Dancing cat. Cool. So keep that in mind. Go for personal conversation if at all possible. And yes, it is hard work. Remember what I said at the beginning. This is not a magic answer. Not a magic bullet. It is hard work. But think about this. Hard work means you would not be paid this much, and it would not be worth your while if it wasn't this, if it was easy. Because it is precisely hard work, and it's the same in my life. It makes me stretch. It makes you stretch. It makes you challenge yourself. It makes you expect more from yourself. It makes you better. It makes you grow. And it can make you rich. Well, Borino, but hold on. There's more to life than money, of course. But let me ask you this. Wouldn't your life be a heck of a lot easier, more fun, and more fulfilling if money ceased to be an issue for you? This is where the limiting beliefs come to play. This is where the mind game is so important. The limiting beliefs that there is not enough. Bullshit, there's plenty. The reality is there is plenty. So you got to let go of the scarcity mentality. There's more that you can possibly handle. Now again, I offer you data, facts. Here's the proof. This is the latest from the National Association of Realtors. Look at this number right here. Projected number of transactions this year, 2016, 5.53 million closed. So drop the scarcity mentality. There's a lot of business. No more small stuff fighting for scraps. Homes are being sold all the time. Just check your MLS, listings, sales, every single day. That means there are, on average, 15,150 transactions every single day closed. 30,000 commission checks every day. Why don't you get some? Now, you and I together, we can make it happen. That's what I've been doing. That's what I enjoy. Is to take someone who needs my help and just guide them through it, get them up. I do believe in you. That's why I was so thrilled when Espresso approached me, and Melissa came to me, and Monica came to me, and we put this together for you. You're sitting here, and we're going to spend the next few minutes again together because I don't want you to be stuck. If you stayed up till this point, I know one thing about you. It's time to pop the training wheels off and get going. Because there is plenty of business out there. There are plenty of nice clients who need your help. And they're willing to pay you. They're going to write you a check. They're willing to pay. The question is, do you believe that you deserve it? The tools are out there. The resources are out there. The technology is out there. It really just comes down to just one thing. Can you guess what that is? You, exactly. So here's a question you need to ask. What do I need to focus on every day to build my business and my ideal lifestyle in the next 90 days? What do I really need to know? What do I need to have? What do I have to do in order for me to really hit it out of the park? What tools and systems do I need to reach my goals? And who are my ideal clients? How do I find them? How do I approach them? All that stuff. That's the road. Will it take some work and dedication? Well, yeah, absolutely. We talked about a comfort zone. Yes, you got to break out your comfort zone. Sure, you bet. But here's the question. Is it worth it? I believe 100% yes. More than just the money. It's that sense of freedom, the control you have, the lifestyle you can build for not just you, but your family, your kids, your grandkids, whoever else matters to you. Because think about it this way. What is the alternative? Same old struggle, mediocrity. You tried that. Not much fun. We all been there. Just getting by. Or worse, you're going to give up and quit. Not because you make too much money. That doesn't happen. You being here means you're ambitious, you're willing to work, and you're open-minded to learn some new stuff. And then roll up some sleeves and get the job done. And I know it's more than just money. You do want to help, genuinely help people. You want to get paid for your work and provide. Am I right? What I want you to walk away with, in addition to the practical steps I'm giving you, is the sense that it can be done. If this guy from Czechoslovakia with this weird accent who was homeless pulled it off, every single one of you can. I had a student, now again, results not typical. This is my man Ryan, brand new agent. Young kid, awesome, full of vigor, excited, came to me, struggling, I need your help. So we put some systems in place, I coached him a little. Here was his follow-up. I do want to keep in touch, just closed 3 deals in 1 week, all from following your plan. I'm not a genius. He just followed my plan with my help, followed the system. Got some fancy award, did all right. My man Jim, down in Odessa, Florida, 6 new listings in the last 30 days, all from expired listings. Keep doing what Borino says, it works. I believe that. I believe if you follow the system, you're going to get similar results, hopefully, with my help. No promises, of course. Patricia, my 3rd listing in 2 weeks. It's all because of you. I'm so excited I can't even express it. I can't wait to speak to you. So what do these folks have that you don't have? It's really just, other than the mindset we talk about, is the system. And that's what really the Expired Plus is. It's when I was down and out, the right people showed up in my life. One of them was Tony Robbins, Art Scott, who taught me how to do expireds, and others. There were these teachers who reached out, I grabbed their hand, and they pulled me up. And I feel like right now is my time to help you build a life for you and your family, just like I was able to do for mine. I want to pass this on and give you the same freedom. If you're clear what you want, and it really is important to know, what is the target? Not paying off bills, not being debt-free. Bullshit. You need more. You want to send kids through good schools. You want to live in a nice home, drive a nice car. And being that successful, respected agent, it's all about there. It's all out there. Now it's just a matter of getting there quickly. So go to Expired Plus, use the code Espresso. If you're not an Espresso agent client, I recommend give them a try. In your package, you will get a certificate. You can take Espresso for a test drive for 2 months, only $49. It's a great system. I stand 100% behind him. We are affiliated with Espresso. That means we do get a small commission. If you become their client, it's a great system. I like it a lot. All right, my friends, that's the whole big sales pitch. And let's chat a little about expireds. Thank you for all the questions. Keep them coming. Let's see what you got. Monica, do you want me to just answer the questions, or do you want to hop in and have a little chat?
You can go ahead and answer the questions that are there, so we'll be sure to get those covered here in the next few minutes.
Okay, sweet. Awesome. So, Jolita, do I pronounce it right? Is it Jolita, Jolita? I don't want to butcher your name. My name is butchered. That's why I dropped my last name. Just Borino. Good question. She wants to know, can it be done without calling the expired? Door knocking, direct mail, Facebook, etc. I don't like calling. Really good question. I hated calling. I really didn't like it. I didn't want people to bother me and call me. I didn't want to do the same. So how you feel is normal. Can it still be done? Technically, yes. It's still possible. Is it a good idea? No. Phone is your tool. It's a friend that will help you connect with more people. I highly recommend call first. Not to build a huge rapport. Usually that doesn't work that well. The purpose of the phone is only twofold. One is you want to find out if they're really listed. You don't want to waste your time with somebody who is already re-signed either with the same agent or with another agent. But second reason for the phone call is to set up that quick little appointment where you give them a little bit of who you are, a little taste of how different you are, and it gives you a chance to interact with the seller just a little bit. Like, you heard the phone call. Can you tell that the seller that Jason was talking to was a pretty pleasant lady? I mean, I would definitely be interested in at least talking to them more. It was clear from the conversation to me that they were motivated, they wanted to sell, and they would be realistic. All accomplished in a 3-minute phone call. So your job is to get over the emotions, either do it regardless of how you feel or change how you feel. But don't eliminate this important tool. Now, if you want, I have a program I can show you. Let's see, where do you have it? It's called Core Influence. Because I was the idiot sitting in a car, afraid to talk to people or calling people. My palms would be so sweaty. We had those old phones, you know, that still we use still old dial phones. There would be an imprint of my palm because I had a sweaty hands. So I did this system called Core Influence. Put it together. A lot of it is neuro-linguistic programming, psychology, that kind of stuff. Now you can get it. It's right here. So if you want to grab that, that will help you get over phone phobia and call reluctance very quickly. There are a bunch of exercises, mental exercises, physical exercises. It comes with a stack of dialogues, just so with the expireds, not scripts, just dialogue outlines. A lot of this has to do way more with human psychology and triggers than with actually memorizing words. It's good to know what to say, obviously. This will help you get over call reluctance. I have people come to me with the same problem. Many of you struggle just like I did. This is the answer. If you get the Success Plus, not just the Expired Plus, that comes with it, or you can just buy this separate. But get over it. Use the phone. These are tools that other agents, your competition, is already using. You must even the playing field. All right? Yolita. Okay, now I got it right. All right, Yolita. Did I answer your question? Really good question. I appreciate what you're saying. Was that helpful? My man Arturo is here. Awesome, Arturo. What are those times to door knock on Saturdays? Good question, Arturo. You want to go in the morning, around 9:30 would be a good time to start, go till noon, then late in the afternoon, and same for Sunday, either early in the morning. Sunday, again, depending on your area, Arturo, is if in a suburb where a lot of people go to church on Sunday, I would skip and go in the afternoon, maybe around 4 or 5 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. Those are good times to go. Yeah? All right. Yolita said I answered the question. Good. Heidi. Oops, sorry, Heidi. I deleted your question by accident. Ask it again, please. Marianne has a question. Would we who are not get a copy of the thanks? I am sorry, Marianne. Your message came in scrambled. Would you retype it? Heidi wants to know, would this program be good for... All right, Barbara has a really good question. If you visit them and they are not home, do you leave something behind? Yes, you do. When it's your first visit, leave the expired package I showed you. The trifold brochure, the business card. If you don't have a brochure, get one, or I can get you one for free if you want. Just shoot me an email, borino@expiredplus.com. It's not as nice as the one in the Expired Plus. It's a 3.0 version, the older one, but if If you're in a bind, it will work. My suggestion would be get the new one because it looks much better and the marketing in it is better. But you leave the brochure, the cover letter, business card, market update, and your marketing materials. A little package you put together. You leave it there. That's the first thing. If you go back, you leave a little note. Just like the one I showed you the text. Sorry about your house, Jim. If you can get a qualified buyer, if you could still sell for a good price, would you be interested? Please call me as soon as possible. Your name, your phone number. So leave a little, even just a little stick-on is good enough. That's what I would leave the second time. Yeah? Good question, Barbara. Did I answer it? Yeah? Connie, good. All right. Yes, thanks, says Barbara. Okay, my friends. Any other questions? Anything else? Go to expiredplus.com. Looking forward to working with you. Get the Espresso, or we'll send you a little certificate. If you're not an Espresso client yet, take it for a spin. I think it's a great system. It will make your search and your prospecting, searching expireds, and even FISBOs much easier, much faster. You're going to get streamlined, much more organized. I think it's a great tool, and it's definitely worth its money. So jump on board. Renee says, you said not to use the word sorry in our communication. Watching my videos. Awesome. Yeah, there are 3 toxic words that I said you shouldn't use. Sorry. I just wanted to call to see if you were listed. Just wanted to make sure I answered your questions. Just as a deminifier. And the third one was I think, I would, I this, I that. Yeah, good. Glad you like my videos and pay attention. Awesome. Why, did I say sorry, Renee? Sorry if I did. Sorry. All right. Looks like all your questions have been answered. Did you have a good time? Did you learn something cool? Can you go out there this afternoon, this weekend, and apply some of the techniques and strategies we talked about today? That's a real question. Are you willing to take the next step? Whether it's come on board, get the Expired Plus. I would love working with you. I would enjoy it. Come to DC. There's all kinds of things we're going to do together to help you become a good agent. But more importantly, even if you don't, we're still friends. It's still good. I'm not here to pitch. I'm here to help. Can you do this? Do you believe it's simple enough to apply now? Not later, not until you apply this and implement that and build that. Now. Remember this. Many times, your desire for perfection, I need to have a perfect brochure, I need to have a perfect expired package, I need to have this and that, is an avoidance behavior. What are you really avoiding? Discomfort? There'll be some discomfort, but trust me, living in a car, homeless, is a lot less comfortable than putting up with some expired listings and some sellers. Some of them, yes, they can be rude, it's true, but some will not. That was actually one of my biggest breakthroughs, biggest ahas. When I started consistently working expireds, and yes, I had to change how I felt. My status were important because they often responded to my confidence, often responded to my ability to have a pleasant conversation with them. And once I had that in place through practice, people were pretty nice. Not everybody was hugging me, not everybody was like, oh, Borino is here, woohoo! But most of them were pretty friendly folk. People who just had a problem. People who were stuck in a bad situation. People who didn't know how to get out of that place where they were. Make sense? And that ended my slide automatically. Let me put it back. So you will notice people are pretty nice. If you feel good about talking to them, if you don't have a problem having a chat with a stranger, to really get to know them, to really connect with them, not a 30-minute elaborate psychological analysis, but just a pleasant chat with somebody who maybe needs your help, you will discover that overall, it is not that hard. People are fairly nice, and it can be very profitable. You saw some folks doing some pretty cool things using this approach, using this system. All right, guys? All right. Natasha says, what did you say we can leave the first time if we don't have the expired package perfected yet so we can get started? Great question, Natasha. And she's my student. She's a gun-ho. I recognize you from our Rockstars and from my workshops before. What do you do if you don't have an expired package and you want to hit expired this afternoon? I'll just take a Post-it note and leave a little personal note. Hi, Jim, sorry about your house. Would you still like to sell for a good price if we could find a qualified buyer quickly, or if we get a qualified buyer quickly? Please let me know. Natasha, Borino Real Estate, 800-573-8492. That's all I would do. Leave a little Post-it. Personal. That's the answer, okay? And then work on your expired package. This shouldn't take you too long. I mean, you have the Expired Plus, Natasha, don't you? So you should put it together. You did in the text. Oh, I see what you're saying, Renee. On the text. Yes, good point. There's a purpose. There's a reason behind it. And I understand what Renee's saying. I use the word sorry. I open the text to the client, sorry about your question. I do it because I want the text to appear as if it was a consolation note from somebody they already know. Conversational. Not a marketing message, but a personal message. But you're right. It may diminish it a little bit. If you want to tweak it, that's cool. This is just my idea. I try to keep it simple. Good point, Renee. Good catch, too. Got it. All right. Good. Gina says, great idea to load them into my triple dial. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. Do it. You can just do an export. Boom. Load them up, and you're ready to go. All right. We answered Barbara's question. Monica says, if they... Oh, great question. If they don't answer, you call them first thing in the morning. And my suggestion would be, if you really don't want to piss them off, be the 15th agents to call, because by then even I crash and burn. It's just too late. Be the first one, or at least one of the first in the morning. But what if they don't answer? What's the next step? The next step would be I leave a short message, just like the text. I would text them immediately. I would mail them, and I would go visit them all on the same day. Especially if it's a hot listing. Especially if it's in a desirable area. Especially if I know I can sell this sucker. Hit them hard. Be intense in your approach, and then put them on follow-up. But those would be the things I would do immediately. Yeah? Yolita wants to know if I do one-on-one coaching. I have a program called Double Your Listings. It's a bootcamp style program, Yolita. I'd be more than happy to talk to you offline about it. Shoot me a quick email, Borino, B-O-R-I-N-O, @expertplus.com. Or if you want to learn more about the bootcamp, I do that. It's goborino.com. Or just quick email, we'll talk on the phone. No, maybe just didn't know how to use Espresso at a high level. Totally cool. Colin says he's a very practical coach, then I think it will work. If it's a common, maybe I know him. I know most of my peers in my industry. So yeah. All right. Monica wants to know when you're going to be in Miami. It's going to be in October. If you're a member of the Lab Coach, just watch post that Nick and the staff will post there. But we're putting it together. It's going to be really exciting. Three-day workshop in October. And also, I'm doing a 2-day hands-on workshop on confident communication early October here in Washington, D.C. October 4th and 5th, I believe. Let me check my calendar just so that I don't bullshit you. Hold on a second. October 3 and 4, Monday, Tuesday. I'll be right here in D.C., hands-on workshop. We're going to practice a lot. It's going to be a lot of practice. How you present, how you communicate, how you handle objections, how you call, how you communicate face-to-face. A lot of practice, a lot of hands-on stuff. Really good workshop. If you're curious, email me, borino@expertplus.com. I'll let you know more about it. All right, Colin says, yes, you answered my question. Excellent. Shana wants to know, hello, Borino, do you have a follow-up plan we can auto set up in our CRM? The follow-up plan is part of the Expired Plus. You will get the marketing materials that you will download to your computer. You will personalize them, and then you can copy-paste them into whoever you use. Now, if you use Realty Juggler, we partnered up with Realty Juggler, which is a nice CRM. Code from us, they will just activate the library for the expireds for you, so you don't need to load them. If you use another, you just simply copy-paste them in there, and it's good to go. Okay? So I answered the one-on-one coaching question. I answered the CRM question. Looks like all the questions are answered. All right, my friends. Time well spent together? Did you enjoy it? Was it helpful? Was it cool? I want you to really walk away like, I have these cool notes, and I pick 1, 2, or 3 things I want to implement right away. Expireds can be done. I can do this. There are listings out there. There's business out there. New expireds, old expireds. They're worth going after. Start right now. Rocky says, yes, it was great. Thanks, Rocky. Your first time with me? Yeah? Monica says, thank you, Borino. Great to have you, Monica. Always nice to see you on my events. Excellent. Rocky, great. I'm glad you're here. Glad you enjoyed it. We're going to do more of these. I do a lot of webinars. I do a lot of coaching. So stick around and come join us. All right. Monica says, Espresso Agent has a recording function so you can listen to your calls and make adjustments. That's awesome. Yeah, I know that's a feature they recently introduced so you can actually hear the conversation. That is brilliant. I think that will help you a lot to hear yourself. You don't really care what the other person is saying. What you want to hear is how connected, how confident you sound, how well the conversation is. I'm sorry, I was getting a lot of feedback, Monica, from you, and I had to mute my audio so I didn't hear you. But thanks for that. Okay. All right, guys. Melissa says, thank you, Borino. This was awesome. Looks like everybody enjoyed it. I did too. Time well spent. Thanks for being here today. Monica, did you have anything else? Did you want to close it up before we say goodbye to all the rock stars?
No, I think that's it. Appreciate so much your time and incredible ideas. There were a lot of great takeaways here. So thank you very much. And guys, look forward to next week, next Wednesday. You'll be getting some more information on our next mastery session from Espresso Agent.
Awesome. Cool.
Thanks
for being here,
Borino.
everybody. Monica, thank you very much for putting it together. Great job.
Okay.
We'll talk real soon. Coach Borino signing off. Let's go get him. Bye, everybody. Have a terrific rest of the day.